Hi, today I'm going to cover solving systems of equations using substitution. There are three common ways of solving systems of equations, which are graphing, using substitution, and using the addition or linear combination method. Each one has its benefits or pros and cons depending on the way that the system is set up. Typically, you would solve a system using substitution if one of your variables has a coefficient that is 1. For example, I'm going to use the system 3x minus 5y equals 5 and negative x plus y equals negative 1. I could solve this system using elimination or graphing, but I'm going to demonstrate substitution for you. The first step is for me to get one of the variables by itself. So what I'm going to do is I am going to eliminate or move the x over to get y by itself. I'm going to add x to both sides of this equation, and I get y equals x minus 1. Because I worked in the second equation, I'm now going to substitute what y equals into the other equation, the one that I haven't used. If I substitute into the equation that I just solved, I wind up getting a recursive 0 equals 0. That doesn't make sense and doesn't help me. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3x minus 5, and now I'm not using y anymore. I'm going to use x minus 1. Equals 5. And now I have an equation that is in one variable, and I can solve for x. Solving for x, I distribute the negative 5. I get 3x minus 5x plus 5 equals 5. I'm going to combine like terms and isolate the x term. 3x minus 5x is negative 2x plus 5 equals 5. I subtract 5 from both sides. I get negative 2x equals 0, and this is okay. This is not an inconsistent or dependent solution. This is a valid solution where x equals 0. Now that I have found x, I can go back into my equation where I solved for y, and I have y equals x minus 1. Finding x, I take 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And I have the solution to my system. The ordered pair 0, negative 1 is my solution. I can verify this by checking. I plug in 0, negative 1 into both equations. The first equation, 3 times 0 minus 5 times negative 1. That is 0 plus 5, which does in fact equal 5. I check the second equation of negative x plus y equals negative 1. Negative 0, which is just 0, plus negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 does equal negative 1, and so I do have the solution to my system. And that is how you solve systems of equations using substitution.